Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Final Tackle podcast. We're joined by former Brisbane Broncos, Cowboys, and also Kiwi international Jordan Kahu. Thanks very much for joining us. And how's your day been so far?
DROM Clothing. They are a clothing store company based in Woy Woy, New South Wales, Australia. But guess what? They ship Australia-wide. They have a great range of winter clothing with their current winter drop happening at the moment. So be sure to go through DROM. Tell them CJ sent you from the Final Tackle podcast. Also, we have discount codes dropping soon, so be sure to keep an eye out on our Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, day's been good. Not much we can do at the moment, but excited for a chat, bro. Thanks for having me on.
Nah, mate, my pleasure's all mine. Have you been watching the Olympics at the moment?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's crazy. Obviously, I only get to watch it every 5 years since the last one. And yeah, it's so exciting because you know how much work they put into, getting to the Olympics for a start is crazy. And then, winning medals and, they're the best of the best. So it's something that's like so exciting to watch. And I've been trying to, every time there's a medal, up for grabs, I'm always keen to watch whatever sport it is. And yeah, one of those things where you watch sports that you'd never ever watch.
Yeah, fair. But then again, you did grow up playing rugby and rugby league, and obviously rugby sevens is in the Olympics. Is that one of the main events you make sure to watch?
Bro, to be honest, like it's just anything that where a medal's up for grabs. Yeah, it's dope that sevens are in the Olympics as well, and it's crazy to know that it's possible for rugby players to win something at the Olympics now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's talks around the NRL averse, you could say, about rugby league nines being an exhibition sport for the 2034 Brisbane Olympics. Would you be down to see something like that?
Right, because the hosting nation gets to choose a sport.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty sick. I can't think of anything else that's not already in the Olympics.
Yeah,
that we would, enter, and you'd always enter something that you're good at, being a hosting nation. So,
absolutely,
rugby league would be definitely up there, especially nines.
Oh, for sure, especially in the nines, with it being a much faster format similar to rugby sevens. Right, your grassroots in Lower Hutt, New Zealand. What was it like growing up? And you grew up playing rugby union as well as rugby league. And what sort of, pushed you towards rugby league more so?
So I grew up in a little place called Lower Hutt. My local club was Petone, and I played union pretty much my whole childhood up until 13. And then when you start high school, you've got to play for the high schools back there. There's no club footy. So went to Hutt Valley High School first, played under 65s. Did I play under 65s? Yeah, I played under 65s in my second year at college. I was still young enough to play club in my first year.
Was the 65s weight, or was that?
Yeah.
Because on my age is pretty sure that
yeah. Under 65. So that's like a school competition back in New Zealand. But it's a bit hard because you can get these kids that are under 65 kilos, but then you can get these dudes that are finishing high school that are still under 65 kilos, but they're like grown men, you know what I mean? And there's that massive, there's 13-year-olds and then there's 18-year-olds, and that's like a big jump when you're especially a teenager. So it was kind of good because I got to play, like 4 or 5 years older than me, and I kind of got that experience, of what it was going to be like playing men quite early on. And then I moved to Wellington College. Obviously, it's a better union high school back in Wellington, and moved there for some rugby opportunities and just for my game development pretty much. And then I got to the end of my second year at high school and I wasn't playing much footy. I was in and out of the first 15, playing second 15, and then there was this one tournament that I vividly remember. I didn't get much game time at all, and I remember I walked off the field. I didn't even, we won the competition. I was filthy. I didn't play. I think I played 2 minutes out of like 4 or 5 games.
Oh wow, I would be filthy too.
Yeah, I was just filthy. I just wanted to play. I was a young teenager just wanting to play sport, and that was the only thing I could dedicate my time to back then. So I kind of had a sook and went and played some rugby league, and next thing it kind of all happened so quick, and I was on a plane to Aussie in the
Goldie for Canberra Park
next year. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's how it all started.
Yeah, nice. And what was it like at Kebra Park? Because obviously, as we know, Kebra Park is a very famous rugby league school. A lot of Broncos and Queensland-based players have come out of Kebra. What was it like going through their system?
I think the best thing about Kebra is that they prepare you really well for, a professional environment. You're getting up at 7, or you got to be at school at 7 to train before school starts.
And is that mandatory, like on the timetable sort of thing?
I guess it's mandatory if you want to do any well in rugby league.
Yep. For sure.
If you want to play in the A's and stuff like that, then you definitely got to make those. They're pretty strict on, like, if you don't turn up to training, you won't play, all that type of stuff. And trainings like there really prepared me so well for the professional environment. The trainings there are crazy hard. So when I was at school, we had a teacher called Mr. Campbell, and he kind of just drilled us every Wednesdays we played, and then every Fridays was just like a towel up session, just like ridiculous tires and long runs and stuff like that. But it was good because it kind of mentally pushed people who were chasing something more, and I guess
it also prepared you as well, sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess it filtered out the boys that weren't willing to push themselves to that next level. So I'm extremely grateful for that time at Kebra Park.
Oh, absolutely. You then obviously got part of the Broncos NYC team for a few years, unfortunately getting quite a few injuries before you even started in the NRL. So let's not even get started in the NRL stuff yet. Had 2 knee injuries when you were playing for the Broncos NYC team. What was it like dealing with those types of setbacks early on, for lack of a better term, before your career even kicked off, per se?
It was quite tough. Obviously, I was coming straight out of high school as one of the hottest schoolboy talents in the country, and it was pretty tough, knowing that I could have been playing first grade quite early on in my career, and for me to miss out 2 full years of playing footy, which that was obviously tough, just not playing. I would have been happy to play in the 20s, but not playing at all was pretty tough. And just the mental battles, I guess. It was, I was quite young. I was in a system where, I had a lot of learning to do and a lot of growing up to do real quick. And I guess the good thing about doing my knee twice was that I learned the second way around that I needed to change things. And it was pretty tough not being able to, get my name out there and get on the, NRL field as earlier as I could have. And the hardest thing was watching boys that I know I was in front of, play. I know that seems quite selfish, but it's hard to kind of watch when you're not.
Oh, absolutely. Especially knowing, yourself, knowing that you'd, worked so hard towards getting that goal, and then to have it, for lack of a better term, taken away from you, not by the coach, but by injury, nonetheless. It would be awful, I can imagine. And how did you, as you said, it was tough mentally. How did you, for lack of a better term, deal with, not just the injury itself, but more or less seeing, as you said, the blokes who, were in the grades with you, but getting their shot before you?
I'm extremely stubborn. So I've always wanted to prove people wrong. And even, the first time around, I probably didn't, do my rehab. I trained my butt off, and I worked so hard, but it was more the little things away, like alcohol, diet, lifestyle, just all of that stuff that I didn't get quite right in the first time around. And mentally I was kind of in a space where, I was young, didn't know how much hard work I could have done outside of the Broncos. I could have gone home and done more training to get myself properly fit and ready. The second time around I kind of did that mentally. I was in a bit of a predicament of if I don't come back from this, then I'm not coming back at all, kind of thing. So
gotcha, all or nothing sort of thing.
Yeah, so I made sure everything was just, and I still enjoyed myself. I was young. I was only 20.
Yep.
So I didn't want to miss out on those times just by fully focusing on footy. I just knew I was never going to give up. I was lucky that I've been with Jess for so many years that I always had that, solid base to come home to, and for her to kind of always support me through all of those times. And it was lucky. Yeah, I was lucky I did it twice. Unlucky I did it twice, but kind of lucky I done it twice because I done it a lot better the second time around.
Yeah, fair. I absolutely agreed. And then you burst onto the scene in 2013 with your Broncos NRL debut and also Broncos debut. What was it like? Obviously, as I said, as we've covered, you'd worked so hard, rehabbed your knees twice. What was it like to finally get the call up, the week of saying, yep, you're getting your debut?
Yeah, it was pretty special. Obviously, yeah, like I said, for all the hard work and especially working my butt off the second time around for something, I was never promised that I was going to play. Obviously, been out of the game for 2 years straight. I was never going to be promised the jersey and the Broncos, and the Broncos were going quite well. And for me to get that call, I think Hojo got injured on the Thursday, and then I got called that Thursday afternoon to say that I was playing. That was it was obviously special, and I was just grateful to be able to pay people back that have put their hard work, time, money, my parents, just over the last, my whole childhood as well, but especially over the years that I was injured, just the stuff I went through those couple of years, just
it made it all worth it.
Yeah, just made it worth it.
That's absolutely goosebumps. That's wonderful to hear, mate. And then 2015 season, first of all, what a season for the Broncos. Obviously, unfortunate ending, especially as a Broncos fan, but what a season regardless, and you had honestly a peak season. You debuted for the Kiwis that year. What was that like?
The Kiwis debut?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, that was crazy. That was kind of something that I was just super happy to pay everyone back for, from friends, mums, aunties, my grandparents, especially my parents, just to pay all those people back. I was at the pinnacle of my sport, playing for the country that I love. So to pay those people back and, to finally be able to do the haka and sing the anthem.
I was going to say, watching the haka,
when I was playing,
I get goosebumps. What was it like being able to, do it for your country?
Yeah, it was pretty hard because I had to wipe the tears away after the anthem, so it was a bit of a weird feeling that I was so emotional during the anthem, and then to kind of go out there and stare down my opposition and tell them that it's on, it's like it's go time. It was a bit of a weird feeling, but super special and super powerful at the same time.
Did you get the win on debut?
Did we? I think we lost. Maybe I think we lost.
No, that's fair. And then you got your first international try against the England team later that year. Oh, within a few weeks, I'm pretty sure. What do you remember that feeling of scoring your first international try for the Kiwis?
I think it was off Cody Nikodima grubber, maybe. I think we were kind of, we're down chasing points, and he just put a grubber through, and I think I chased it and scored. But that was, it was hard to take in at the time, and kind of appreciate the moment because we were chasing points. I just scored it quickly, then quickly ran back to position and stuff like that. But a moment that really did stick out was, I think, game 2, I kicked the field goal and to kind of ice the game. That was pretty special because at the bigger stage, I backed myself to get in there. I wasn't going to lose by another field goal that year, that's for sure. So I got in and just stoked that I backed myself to get in there at international level on my second test. Was that was pretty cool.
Oh, honestly, that's amazing. And touching back on the 2015 Broncos season, obviously we know what happened with the grand final, but in general, that whole season was amazing from start to finish. The boys hit a bit of poor form in the middle of the season, getting flogged by Manly halfway through the year in Gosford. I was at the game because I live near Gosford. But you guys then went on to the grand final from that game, and Manly didn't even make the 8. First of all, love that because fuck Manly. But also, what was it like? Was there that winning mentality amongst the boys from that point onwards? Like, right, we can do this. Talk me through the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's a bit of it's hard. We were such a good group. It was one of those teams that you could just go and have a coffee or go have a drink with anyone in the team. You didn't have these little groups. people, still had their closer friends that they stuck around with, but like,
but it wasn't
yeah,
clicking.
we just clicked, bro. And on the field, it showed. We had fucking some real good times together. Everyone. It wasn't like a commitment issue, like where we had something on the weekend and no one shit turned up, or even if people turned up, someone had a problem with it, that type of thing. It was just like, we just had such a good vibe, and we worked our butts off, bro. We trained hard during the week, and like if we had a shit training, bro, we'd call it out, and then make up for it. And I think just the way we reacted to situations and bounced back from stuff was super good. Like even on the field, if we made mistakes and stuff like that, we would just bounce back to our systems and get back into playing footy. And probably like being biased, but our team like that year was probably one of the most exciting teams to watch play footy, and in the current eras. But
it was.
We just threw the ball around, Milf.
It was just on.
Yeah, Benny Hunt. Everyone was just, like we just had that click. Someone would throw the ball, and there'd always be someone else there. And I think something that was really special that year was our defense. I think there was a game against Melbourne, and we had something ridiculous, like 10 or so sets on our try line, and they didn't score. And it was just like, I think from that moment on, we knew that, we could, back each other up. And especially against Melbourne, it's kind of you back yourself after the games like that.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of Melbourne, I was at the 06 Grand Final, Broncos versus Melbourne. What team did you follow growing up?
The Warriors, bro. Yep. Obviously. I was a union boy growing up, so I didn't really know many league players at all. I knew the big stars here and there. I knew of Benji, but I just supported the Warriors because they're from New Zealand.
Yeah, fair. Did you follow a Super Rugby team?
Yeah, pardon? Sorry?
Did you follow a Super Rugby team in
the... Yeah. The Hurricanes was my team, because I was obviously from Wellington, and bro, they had guns. Like we had on paper probably the best teams, and we could just never win it. So we could never win it. But they were my team.
Did you watch the Aotearoa conference last year?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. It's just like they're so just everything's so precise in New Zealand rugby. They pay attention to like the small details so much. Just like people watching probably don't realize, that every pass is just like crisp. Everything that happens is just like, to a T, and that just comes up from like dedication and, development. And I love watching New Zealand rugby.
That's exactly it, mate. I was watching some rugby the other day. It was the Box against Great Britain Lions, second test. Haven't watched rugby for quite a few years, and like you were saying, you can tell that they're doing the passes and the kicks and all that. Like they've planned it. It's never off a whim. Like you see, like rugby league, there's sometimes off the cuff football. You'll never see it in rugby, and I think that's testament to the training. How do you think RTS will go in Super Rugby next year?
Oh, he'll kill it, bro. He'll be in an All Blacks jersey in no time. I'm backing him, bro. I'm so excited to see him back there. He was one of my favorite league players, in the NRL. So him,
and you got to play alongside him in the Kiwis, didn't you?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, he's just a pro as well. Like super humble and good dude as well.
Stay humble, lumpy, right?
Stay humble, lumps, bro. Think if that did a shout out, I would have given him enough shout outs. He's starting to abuse me now.
Oh, jeez. Speaking of Twitch, because that's where that's from, how is your Twitch streaming going? How did you start it up, and where do you plan for it to go?
So I started it up last year when we got put in the bubble. Obviously, I couldn't go out and do anything, so I was just like, I'm gonna, there's literally nothing I could do. So I was playing the PlayStation. I was just like, this was when we had 2 kids as well, so it was a bit easier for just to juggle with the other 2, and Jayla was at kindy. But I just wanted to, I was starting playing. I was like, if I'm gonna play, I might as well like start streaming.
Try and make a bit of dollars off it if you could.
Yeah, and just connect with fans because I wasn't
connected with you through Twitch, so
yeah, bro, it's crazy. But it's going well. It's building really slowly. I think the hardest thing for me is that, I'm starting from scratch in a new platform that I don't have footy to just bump up, like Instagram, Facebook, when I was starting those, I was, at the height of my career and people were just following me because of footy. Whereas now, I don't have that, and I'm kind of just got to, build that slowly. But yeah, I streamed on Facebook for the first time last night, so I'm a bit
went decent.
torn. Yeah, it went well.
I had both, one on each monitor. You Twitch on one, Facebook on the other, and there was a slight delay on both. One as in, and not in a bad way. It was like if you shot someone, it'd be shot, you know.
True.
So it was fun to watch. The better quality video, from what I could see, was the Facebook.
Was it?
Yeah. It was a bit more crisp. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just something fun, bro. I'm having fun, and like right now, I can't get out and create content or anything like that, which is quite tough as well.
Chur media, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what my business.
I was gonna say, what was the startup behind Chur?
Yeah, I kind of just started that off the back of I was creating vlogs, giving people an insight into behind the scenes of a professional NRL player. No one was doing that at the time, and I kind of just wanted to show people that we were just like everyone else, and give them an insight to my life, to see that I've got kids, I've got a missus, I eat food, I drink water, I do all these things that everyone else does. I'm not different to anyone else.
It's just a 9 to 5 sort of
thing.
Footy's
just the role that I was in, and that's why I started. And then I was just buying more and more camera gear. The promo deals were getting better, and I wanted to increase my production value, and was buying more camera gear. So
you got that red camera that I saw on Instagram the other day.
Yeah, that was mine, bro. I just flexing for the gram. I wish I had one of those. But yeah, gear was getting more expensive, and I shot my first wedding, and I was like, I could do this. I'm really enjoying it, and that's when I kind of started Chur Media.
Yeah, nice. And where can people find that? If how can they find out and inquire if they need Chur Media?
So I got a Chur Media Instagram. If you just want to DM me through there, or Jordan@chur.media is my email. If you want to work with me, if you've seen my content and enjoy it. I try and be a bit different from the stock standard. Obviously, it's a bit hard because companies want a certain thing sometimes, but I love the story side to creating content, so I try and incorporate that with whatever I do
through your photography and your videography.
Yeah. It just, I think it engages a lot better with whoever's watching.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I know I asked this last night in your stream, but who was the biggest pest at the Broncos and the Cowboys?
Bro, Josh Maguire, easy.
Every Broncos player I've asked that's played in that timing, even Lachlan Moranta said Josh Maguire. So
easily, bro.
What about the Kiwis in the squad?
Oh, bro, Isaac Luke for sure.
It's not called bully for no reason, eh?
Bro, honestly, yeah, easily him and Musa, like they're right alongside each other.
In the same club together.
But I reckon they'd have a fight, because they'd end up pranking each other to a point where it's not even funny.
Wow.
With Moose, it was funny because I was kind of always like, bro, if you do something to me, like we're fighting, like it's like just some of the stuff he did was just so disgusting that I was just like, bro, like I don't fuck with that, eh? Like I'm not about that shit. Like,
did he respect that though, in the fact that?
Yeah, nah. Me and Moose are real good mates, bro. Like I get along real well with Moose, but some of the stuff he done was just disgusting, bro. Like I can't even repeat some of the stuff he does. It's so fucked.
That's some off the record, not when we're not recording sort of stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Who was your best mate as a teammate? Or like who was, who did you always want to room with when you're on away games?
Oh, Alex, bro. We're just, we're like brothers. So I think everyone could probably guess that we just, we just get along so well. We're just like brothers, bro. We bicker and stuff over little tiny stuff, but we love each other to death, bro, and got each other's backs no matter what. So, when we would get rooms separately, it'll be a bit like, we're like, well, what's going on? Like what's happening? Yeah. But we roomed together for like four years, maybe, like straight. And it was just like clockwork. Like we knew what each other's routine was, game day and all that type of stuff.
That would have made game day much easier for you guys as well.
Yeah. So easy. And he didn't snore as well. So
who was the chronic snorer of a teammate?
Benny Hunt, bro. The worst. Honestly, I roomed with him once. Never again, bro. Terrible. Like
Oh, shit.
Like, I don't know what happened then. I think it was like one game, and then I was like, I can't room with him again. I just can't do it. Bad.
Fuck. Speaking of, pre-game and all that stuff, what was the night before, so pre-game meal, or did you not eat until game time as some players do?
So not before, I'd probably just have just a normal dinner, bro, whatever was on the menu. Day of the game, if it was a home game, I'd usually just have, I'd usually go out for breakfast if we could, but if we couldn't, I'd just have bananas on toast, bro. And then home game, Subway for lunch, away game, just whatever's at the hotel. Same sub every time, bro. I just literally just had it. Yeah, bro. I literally just had half of it. It's a chicken classic foot long on malted rye or multi-grain, lettuce, tomato, capsicum, onion, Old English cheese, sweet onion, honey mustard. That's bro, every single time.
Mate, absolutely. And what was your Netflix binge last year during the 10-week lockdown in the bubble?
Queen of the South.
Pardon?
Queen of the South.
Any good?
Bro, unreal. We it's on Foxtel now, so you can watch it up to a certain amount of seasons on Netflix, but then you got to watch the rest on Foxtel, bro. Unreal.
Well, I'll start it up on Netflix and see how it goes.
Unreal.
And during the lockdown last year, obviously, minus Twitch, minus Netflix, there was a bit of uncertainty in the NRL and a bit of uncertainty in the world. How did you deal with that being a professional athlete at the time?
I was super lucky that we were still getting paid. The hardest thing I think was, that was my biggest year of my contract. And, I was banking on a lot of that year to save money and kind of get everything set up, pay off a bit of debt. And for it to be slashed in half, so quickly was pretty tough, bro. So it was hard initially, but I just had to, look at the bigger picture. I was still getting paid monthly, and I didn't have to worry about that monthly pay coming in. So I was pretty lucky, but it kind of got me started on a few other things. I started the clothing line that I never planned on starting, just for the sake of getting Chur media out there.
Yeah.
And the hardest thing for us as a family was Jess was heavily pregnant, and she had to do everything. She had to do go to the supermarket, do everything, go pick the kids up from kindy, do all of that, and by herself, and take the kids out.
Mad props to her then.
Yeah, heavily pregnant too, and that
is the new bub all good and healthy?
Yeah, he's all good, bro. He's all good. He's like normal babies, bro. Don't sleep at nighttime. Perfect baby during the day, but nighttime's just I feel, bro, Jess is crazy. The amount of stuff she has to do with a human attached. I struggle, getting up and showering myself and remembering to eat, remembering to brush my teeth, but she's got to do all of that for 2 other kids and then have a baby attached to her. And he's like proper attached, she can't go anywhere without him. 45 to an hour a day away from him, maybe, and that's max.
Wow.
Yeah.
Far out. And obviously this year's been kind of a bit of a continuation of last year, really. And what have you been doing with yourself this year? And do you have any sights set on returning to the NRL?
I don't have any plans on coming back to the NRL, but if the opportunity arose, then I definitely look at it. I don't want to burn any bridges,
of course,
and say no, because if for the right opportunity, the right, just to be blunt, the right money, I definitely look at it. But yeah, I'm playing rugby union now down for Bond University on the Gold Coast.
Oh, nice.
So I've been jamming there since. When was it? April?
Yep.
And then I got injured throughout the year. It was a bit of a funny year. I didn't have a preseason or anything like that, and I was playing with. I done a triathlon, and then I was playing within 2 weeks. So my body just wasn't ready. Yeah. And I was getting hurt at the best of times. Than when I was in my best shape. So it was a bit hard that way, and then. I had to get my nose fixed this year. Otherwise, the Broncos wouldn't, support the surgery. So I had to get it done this year. And so I missed out on a bit of footy. And then I came back, played my first game a couple of weeks ago, played 30 minutes off the bench. And
How'd you
then,
go?
yeah, I went all right, bro. I was quite happy. I played second five, a position that I hadn't played, probably like 15, 16 years since I was at school. So it was pretty cool, bro. And just I was feeling a lot more comfortable than I did when I first started.
Yep.
And then I was meant to be starting last week, and then the games got canned. So hopefully the season can resume. If the lockdowns are extended, then I think they're going to have to can it, which is hard because I was trying to put some clips together to get a start in union somewhere, and just hopefully my history can kind of get me a gig somewhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, fingers crossed for all of those things. Fingers crossed the season doesn't go down the pipes. Fingers crossed that, you can put together some footage to maybe, sign a contract somewhere. Who was the toughest opponent, like individually and as a team in general during, your time so far in the NRL?
Greg Inglis, I think I marked him in 2013. He was unreal individual. Him and Roger probably the two hardest individuals to come across.
Mm-hmm.
The team definitely over my whole career was at Melbourne. Just every game was hard. I think we might have only beaten them twice in my whole career. But yeah, they're just always on, bro. And they always go up a level when they play the Broncos as well. I've been spanked by them so many times too.
Ever since 06, it's always been on between the Broncos
and
Storm.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's like one of the only few times we've beaten the Storm is 06.
Yeah. And in 15 we beat them.
Yep. We did. That's very true. That was they're guns, bro. They're like the Crusaders in New Zealand. They're just obviously got a good culture. Bellamy's just got, everything fine-tuned and knows how to get the best out of players. Do you reckon Storm to win this year?
Bro, I haven't been watching enough to have an opinion, to be honest. But they'd be there. They'd be there or thereabouts.
Oh, absolutely. Obviously, we've spoken about your time with the Broncos and the Kiwis. Let's talk about your time in 2019. You moved up to play for the Cowboys, and you also played for the Maori All-Stars. What was that year like for you? New club and Maori All-Stars.
Yeah, it was obviously the Maori All-Stars at the start of the year was real special. Just, for my culture, for my people. I lost my nan, I think, the year before, and she was kind of the one that taught me so much about my culture. So to represent her was real special. And then, I think I was on the plane to the Cowboys the next day. So it was, it all happened real quickly over the space of like 2 days. I didn't want to make a decision before the game. I didn't want my head, in that space. So I remember I said to my manager, I'll speak to you after the game and we'll see what happens after that. But I did speak to the Broncos and they said that they didn't want me for that season, which was,
would have been a bit of kick in the teeth.
Yeah, it was Seabold's first year, bro. So he didn't really know what input I had on the team or anything like that, who I was as a person. So it was pretty tough for him to come in and make that decision straight away.
I agree.
And the Cowboys was probably one of the best years that I've had in footy.
You hit a good patch of form.
Yeah, I was enjoying footy again, bro. It was good to be somewhere that you're appreciated and.
Josh Maguire went up there as well.
Yeah. I had a few friendly faces, which was pretty good as well. But I think when you're appreciated by an environment or working for a company that appreciates you, I think you're going to get a lot more out of, a lot more out of it. And I felt that way that year. And I felt a lot lighter. I just felt like there's no weight on my shoulders. It was literally just me enjoying footy for why I started.
Getting paid to do it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that was it. And just off the field in North Queensland's beautiful. So enjoyed it so much.
No, that's awesome. As you said, the Maori All-Stars, and then you moved to the Cowboys. Then you hauled ass back to Brisbane for 2020. Obviously, we know what happened with the 2020 season. It was more or less a write-off. What was it like with that sort of, going up to Townsville, playing for the Cowboys, and then coming back to the Broncos for 2020?
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird feeling. It was a bit hard because, the year before they did tell me that I wasn't wanted. And I guess coming back for me was a bit strange because, it was the same coach. and like I didn't feel weird around the boys. It was weird. I just felt like, you know, I was overstepping someone, and I just didn't feel comfortable at all. And then yeah,
Kind of
Siebes
like
pulled me in.
you didn't want me at the start, so why do you want me now sort of vibe?
Yeah, kind of that. But then Siebes, pulled me into his office. A lot of change in the year. Obviously, they didn't have a great year. So I think he was looking for a few more, you know, leaders at the club. And yeah, he pulled me into his office and said that, you know, that I was wanted there. And that kind of, you know, was real refreshing. And yeah, I spent most of the year injured. So I didn't really have an input on the team. And then by the time, you know, it was too late. By the time I got back, the boys were like down in the dumps, and yeah, it was tough.
Unfortunately, that season was just an absolute write-off for the Broncos. But hey, they're doing so much better this year, and, as in compared to last year. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
you can't get any worse, can you? To be honest,
I mean, you could do the Knights 3 years in a row. But,
oh shit!
But hey, as I said, the Broncos have already broken even and then won 2 more games than what they won last year. So I see it as a win.
This episode is brought to you by our proud sponsor, Gold Coast Trading Cards. They are an authorized TLA trading card dealer, and they are the NRL collector's choice. From box breaks to individual cards, they sell thousands of them. Be sure to get all of your NRL trading card needs at Gold Coast Trading Cards.
So with your streams on Twitch and Facebook and all that, as you said, you did your first stream on Facebook last night. You usually do stream on Twitch. What was the differences? And did you find, you know, Facebook maybe a bit easier or a bit more difficult? Because you did have a bit of a technical glitch about 2 hours in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. My computer it's not the best computer. I was just lucky. I've got the switcher that takes a lot of the load off, and sometimes the internet just plays up and it'll just drop out. And because I'm so focused on the game, you know, I quickly look back and and look back, and I'm just like, oh shit, it's dropped out. And then the only thing to kind of like fix it is restarting the computer. But I feel it's a bit of a tough one because I've got, you know, like 76,000 followers on Facebook, and you know, I'm gonna have a lot of eyes and a lot more people.
I noticed there was a lot more engagement on your Facebook stream than there was on Twitch last night, at least.
Yeah, and I think that's just off the back of the following I already have.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you know, there's people in there like fans that I've spoken to for years that have, you know, they were messaging on there, and they wouldn't even have Twitch. You know, they wouldn't bother downloading Twitch just to follow me. So
Facebook, as I said, is the future of live streaming. In all honesty.
Yeah. So I'm just like torn. I'm like, I've been grinding so long on Twitch, and you know, all it takes is for a big streamer to raid me and something like that, and then you know. But like, I guess if I'm streaming to both, then I can kind of have those options. And
yeah,
I think
the best of both worlds, sort of.
Yeah, I think until you reach partner on Twitch, I don't think you're allowed to stream to multiple platforms when you become partner.
Yeah, that's the thing with partner. Yeah, you
can. So I'm just like, do I just?
But also, you can still it's from what I've been told as well with partner, you can reject their offer of becoming a partner as well. You can stay affiliate as long as you.
Oh, okay.
From what I've been told, it's not here you're partner now. It's a hey, you get an email from what I've been told, and it's do you want a partner sort of thing.
Oh, okay. What are the benefits of being a partner anyway?
I don't know really because I'm not a partner myself on Twitch, but I know affiliate, like it's basically just maybe a few extra perks from what affiliate is.
Okay.
From what I've been told and what I've read, but I may be wrong. But I definitely do know that there is that exclusivity once you are a partner. You know, you have to stream on Twitch, whereas you've got at the moment a much bigger following on Facebook, as you said.
Yeah. So I think I could just keep doing it and testing the waters over the next month or so and see how we go. I think I had 2,500 views on my Facebook last night, and you know, I max like 200 on my Twitch. So it's obviously just the following that's the difference right now. But it did drop really quickly. Whereas Twitch, you know, I'll kind of like consistently have a number for a long period of time. Whereas like, you know, the Facebook spike will be like real high, and then it'll just drop like dramatically.
Yeah, no, that's fair. With the I was going to say something about Twitch or Facebook. I can't remember which one now. I really can't remember.
That's right, bro.
And so, as you said, you know, you got interested in streaming because you were like, right, let's game during the lockdown last year or the bubble and all that. What other games do you play other than Warzone?
I play FIFA. I jumped off my stream last night and had a quick game and kind of tested to see if I was any good or not. And I didn't. So,
did you play against that viewer that was typing?
Nah, Joey. Nah. I just played an online season game. I think I'm like Div 9 at the moment because I've just started.
Yep. FIFA 21.
Yeah. So I might start streaming that a bit more just because Warzone's got so many hackers.
It does, and not gonna lie, I love FIFA. It's when I wasn't playing Rugby League Live or Call of Duty when I was a kid, it was always FIFA.
Yeah. But I was decent back in my day, like decent. I would back myself against anyone, but now I'm just
anyone in the team at the Broncos?
Hey?
Anyone in the team at the Broncos?
Anyone like from probably 15 to 17, no one would have beaten me. But then I just stopped playing and then started playing Fortnite, started playing Warzone like a couple of years ago, and then FIFA I think I was playing FIFA more when we were going on away trips, and Adam Blair, Cody Nikodima, Alex Glenn, we used to play 2-on-2, so it was
they all shit compared to you.
Bro, me and Lex used to whoop them, bro. Whoop them. Because both Lex and I are quite, quite good gamers.
You and Lex also cleaned up in that Warzone of Origin earlier, like a few months ago.
Yeah, bro. I was a bit nervous. I didn't know how the other two were gonna be, and they were leading for ages. I just think I had
you come through with the clutch.
Yeah, I had a couple of big late games. It was different because I wanted to play the dance because all of the buyback stuff, it kind of just throws another variable in the mix. They could just always buy each other back, that type of thing. But the dance is kind of do or die. And I think that's when I asked to go back to the dance and play that. I think that's when we got the advantage after that.
Oh, absolutely, mate. It was great to see because as a Queenslander, and it was for State of Origin, given the Origin was done and dusted for Queensland by that point, it was great to see, somewhat Queensland get the dub. As you said, Call of Duty, Warzone, and FIFA. Who's your team on FIFA?
Real.
Okay, Real Madrid.
Yeah. So I played with them last night. I was a huge Ronaldo fan, so I'd always been whatever team he's gone to. Even in the earlier days of Man U, I played Man U with him, and then we went to Real, and then
mad Ronaldo.
Yeah, I haven't played it long enough to understand his team, so I just stick with Real.
Yeah, that's fair. My go-to teams are Dortmund, as in Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
And if I'm feeling lucky, because I'm a mad Leeds United fan, with 2021, as in FIFA 21 now having Leeds in the EPL, I go with Leeds. Yeah, because they got promoted finally after 16 years for this season that's just happened.
They any good though?
They've 16 years. From a biased Leeds fan, they did really well. They didn't finish near the relegation zone for their first year back in the league. They finished above Arsenal this year. So,
correct. That's pretty good then.
I'm pretty happy with that. I think they finished 9th, so well above relegation, but nowhere near in the top 4. But they had a few representatives play for England during that Euro 2020. So again, really stoked for them. Dortmund, mate. I love playing for Dortmund. I follow Dortmund as well because obviously I love Dortmund. Erling Haaland, mate, what a weapon he is as a striker.
Who's that? Is he a new striker? I only remember that Aubameyang. Yeah. I only remember when he was there and he was a gun for them.
Oh, he was. But Haaland's only come in 2-3 years ago, I think 2019. Something like that is when he got his start in the first team. So, yeah, it would have been after you finished playing it. Mate, weapons regardless. It's great to see. Do you follow the A-League by any chance?
Nah, not at all,
neither.
I haven't watched it at all.
What other sports do you follow other than rugby and NRL? Oh, and Ronaldo.
But that's basically it, I'll follow the basketball. I'm a pretty big Patty Mills fan.
Yep.
So I'll support them.
Maybe watching the basketball at the Olympics for sure.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. But not really too much, to be honest. I don't like I'm a big sports fan, but over the last probably 4 or 5 years, I've just kind of really like just hardly watched it. I watch rugby in league, but yeah, there's not many others that I watch. Maybe the big, like, the
Big
Grand
games.
Slams of tennis, the big
Super Bowl
PGA
sort of
tours,
stuff.
yeah, Super Bowls, like stuff like that. I was big on the Seahawks when they were winning.
Oh, I'm a Packers fan.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I haven't been too big on any other sports, eh?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I can't really think of many other topics. Just trying to think of something else. I know that you just mentioned the Seahawks, and honestly, I don't really like the Seahawks. So I'm not going to bring that up. I think that about wraps it up. So I'll do a quick, any advice for any kids, sort of thing,
Yeah.
and then we'll wrap it up if that's all right with you.
Yeah,
Crazy.
sweet, man.
So in 3, 2, 1. So, mate, basically bringing the episode to a conclusion. It's been great chatting with you. Do you have any advice for any youngsters who'd love to, maybe make it in the NRL one day?
I just think make the right choices when you're younger. Do the right thing. Obviously, listen to your coaches, listen to your parents. They've always got the best interest for you, not only for your life, but for your safety, all of that type of stuff. And just chase your dreams. Don't stop until you get there. Don't give up in any little hurdle. Just keep chasing. It's going to be worth it when you get there. And the biggest one is being able to understand the difference between enjoying your youth and not messing up your future. So making sure that you know the difference between that is super important.
Fuck, I like that. That was good.